Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to the Save Mart Center, where we've got a fun matchup on our hand. The defending Mountain West Tournament champion Boise State Broncos come in to face the regular season Mountain West Conference champion Fresno State Bulldogs. These two teams with quite a bit of history over the last 2 years. Eric Bentley and Matt Norville will be here bringing you all of the action here from the Save Mart Center in what, like I said, should be a really fun one here, Matt.
I'm so excited about this game. The last time these two teams played, it was a classic. Ended in a little bit of controversy if you're a Fresno State fan, but it was a great basketball game in which Boise State won in overtime. And the first meeting before that was another good game, and I expect another great classic game against two very good teams.
Boise State coming in, leading the Mountain West Conference so far this season. Fresno State right now sitting in a tie for third. And so as the starters are getting announced here for Fresno State, let's take a look at these Fresno State starters here this evening.
Well, they're going back to their starting lineup that they had traditionally most of last season. Hannah Cavender, of course, the 5'6" sophomore, averaging 18 points a game, second in the Mountain West in scoring. She's been very efficient. I call her buckets. They're going to need her buckets here tonight for Fresno State to have success, no doubt about it. You got Untitled. She is back into the starting lineup. That's who started for Fresno State last year for most of the year. She's back into game shape, the 6-foot senior. She's averaging about 5 points a game. They're going to need her to run the floor effectively here tonight. She provides a lot of energy for this Bulldog team. Haley Cavender, that's what, two-time Mountain West Player of the Week. Mountain West Player of the Week again this week. She is outstanding. She is just one of those kind of players, averaging 20 points a game, almost 8 rebounds a game, and assisting on 3.5 assists per game. She is a showstopper, no doubt about it. She's in that Player of the Year conversation. Ali Gomez coming off her best game of the season at 18 points last time out against Nevada. La Patrona, the 5'6" senior from Irving, Texas. She's averaging 10.6 a game. When she scores in double figures with the other three, Fresno State has only lost one game in the last 2 years. Maddie Udy, preseason Player of the Year a season ago. Starting to really get it going, the 5'11" senior, averaging 14 points, almost 9 boards, and that field goal percentage that we love to talk about, 51% from the floor. She's got to be big again tonight on the glass, running the floor, and be very efficient on offense. And this is going to be a fun one, Eric. If only the Red Wave could be here.
I was just about to say that. Save Mart Center can get electric when the Red Wave is here. Unfortunately, obviously due to all the protocols, no one allowed in attendance. But hopefully you've got us here on the Mountain West Network and you're getting ready to enjoy a fun one. Real quick, we'll go over the 5 starters for Boise State. It'll be Mary Kay Nero, Rachel Bowers, Jade Lavelle, Alexis Mark, and Mallory McGuire. The 3 officials out there, Melissa Barlow, Chuck Gonzalez, and Nicole Murray.
Good officiating crew, and Jade Lavelle, we were talking about preseason, in the Player of the Year conversation. Jade Lavelle is outstanding, folks. Get ready to watch her. She's averaging 17.9 a game, a beautiful lefty mid-range jumper.
And the Broncos trying to get on the board here early. Their first shot misses. Matt, what are the keys to the game here today?
I think for Fresno State on offense, you've got to run the floor, and I'm not talking about Hannah and Haley and Allie. I'm talking about the bigs in terms of Maddie, Untitled. When Brooke Walling comes in, you want to beat the size of Boise State down the floor, and you've got to limit second chance opportunities. Boise State is a very good rebounding team, and you've got to keep the bigs off the glass. For Boise State, when you flip it, I think for Boise State, you want to make the dribble penetration as Mata makes a nice move there. You want to force dribble penetration into the bigs of Boise State because they're such a good defensive blocking team. They're 9th nationally, number 1 in the Mountain West, averaging almost 6 blocks a game. And then on offense, establish McGuire early as she's got the basketball right now.
Untitled gets the Bulldogs on the board, but right there to answer are the Broncos to knot it up at 2.
Yeah, the zone against Boise is going to be interesting because if they flash McGuire high post, and then what they did is they just dashed Alexis Mark on the baseline, that's going to be layup central all night.
Hannah with some room there at the elbow, instead finds Mata down low. Mata, nice move interior, but gets that one rejected. Second chance, no go.
Yeah, I think today for Fresno State, you got to know your shot's going to get blocked. It's just going to happen, but don't worry about it.
Nice job there. Almost able to come away with it. There was Maddie Udy, but instead putting it up and in, there is Bowers.
And to give you an idea of the size for Boise State, their shortest starter is Jade Lavelle, 5'10". They have 3 players that start above 6 feet. Fresno State only has Mata at 6 feet. and UD's 5'11". Everyone else is well below, so the size and length will favor Boise State.
Pull-up jumper, Haley Cavender just a bit short. And again, you see there coming down with another board of the Broncos and pushing it out quickly.
I love this freshman. Love this freshman. Alexis Mark. They always have that. They had Coleman last year who was very good for him, who graduated. Mark is looking to be that next player for him.
Maddie Udy. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Maddie Udy.
Now don't let the size deceive you with Boise State. They can run. I was talking about how I love Mark. Well, I love Maddie Udy a little bit more. Player of the year a season ago, and that's what she's been doing this season. Almost 50% from 3 for the preseason player of the year.
So now we get a stoppage there as you see Uital Amata there on your screen.
I was so hyped for this game, Eric. This is one of those you look forward to. They play tonight and then again on Saturday. It's unfortunate you can't have any fans in attendance. But these two teams, these heavyweights, they played 2 classic games last year, and you expect another one here tonight.
And that pass unable to be handled, and the Bulldogs come away with it.
Haley under so much control. Mark's going to try to put pressure on Haley, but Haley's going to be able to do what she wants.
And that one, an off-balance shot, can't go. And you see right there the length and the size in the paint for the Broncos really affecting the Bulldogs' ability to drive to the basket.
Yeah, that's one of my keys, though. I thought if you force the dribble penetration into the bigs where you've got McGuire and Bowers. McGuire at 6'5". Bowers, as you see on your screen, at 6'3". That you can try to use. But be aware, the Cavenders and Gomez, they are very nifty around the basket. And they do a good job of drawing contact and getting to the foul line. Good spin.
Haley takes it all the way to the hole, now kicks it over to Hannah. Hannah for the corner 3. That one misses off the front iron.
Well, it's been one and done so far for Fresno State. Boise State does a really good job on the glass. McGuire can hit that.
Misses a little bit too strong there. Battle for the loose ball, and that one's going to be out of bounds off of Lavelle, so it'll go to the Bulldogs.
Fresno State doing a good job of limiting the second chance opportunities so far. Just a little over 3 minutes gone, but when you talk about Boise State rebounding, their margin, they come in second best rebounding team in the conference. Fresno State comes in 11th, which is last.
Nice drive there to the rim. Gets it rejected there, does Hannah, and they're going to say that one out of bounds off of Hannah Cavender.
Yeah, you got length inside for Boise, so they are forcing the guards. They're funneling them to the bigs. You can see that that's what Coach Gordy Presnell is doing. If you're Fresno State, don't get bothered by block shots. It's going to happen. Just continue to keep attacking.
Already 3 block shots for the Broncos. Bulldogs trying to get the ball back on the defensive end, but Boise State able to come away with it.
Good hands, though. Boise State is not a great three-point shooting team.
Good defense there from Mata. She went out to contest at the elbow, but the Broncos come down with the offensive glass, and they'll have possession here with 17 to shoot.
So if you're Fresno State, you might pack it in a little bit as this game goes on. Boise State is 8th in the conference in three-point shooting. They shoot 29% from 3. But they are very good from the floor. They're 3rd best in the Mountain West, 45%. They take a lot of good shots.
Lavelle with it up at the top of the key. Now narrow, trying to find, I believe down low, that was Bowers, but the pass intercepted, and nice job there to run up ahead. Hannah Cavender at the rim and gets it to go.
And that's where you can take advantage, Eric. You can beat the bigs down the floor. If Boise's going to play big and use their length and size, well, the guards and the quickness of Fresno State can get down the floor, and you saw that. It was a 3-on-1 break that led to Hannah with an easy layup.
So the Bulldogs with the 1-point advantage as we near the halfway point of this first quarter.
Yeah, high-low, good defense again from Fresno State. And Boise State already turning it over more than they would like. That's 5 turnovers here in not quite 5 minutes here in this first quarter.
And also nice job there by Udy down low defensively as well. We talk about how much she provides offensively for this Fresno State team. Just as big of an impact defensively there as she was able to disrupt the pass.
Boise State in a man-to-man defense. You expect to see that all night. Kendall Kinzer is checked in for Ali Gomez. Kinzer can flat out shoot it. She had a good game against Boise State at Boise last year. Good
Haley with the handles and gets that one to go. Haley Cavender takes it all the way to the bucket herself.
Got a little Kyrie Irving to her game in terms of how she finishes around the basket. Love that move from Haley.
Broncos wasting no time, passing the ball around. Spot up 3, too strong.
And you'll live with that if you're Fresno State. Lavelle is not a great three-point shooter. Good, no look.
2-on-1, no look pass. Maddie Udy gets the bucket to go. Bulldogs on a 9-0 run over the last 3 minutes.
Well, Fresno State's going to be able to run. Boise State, if they're going to play big, they will have trouble with the tempo. It's going to come down to defense and limiting second chance opportunities in this game.
Bulldogs have tightened up on the defensive end. Broncos with a long 2. And again, that one misses, but Fresno State defensively has looked pretty good as Haley Cavender gets mobbed down low, and she's going to draw the foul.
That's a good look, though, from Lavelle. She's a mid-range jump shooter. She's not a three-point shooter, so just a couple steps in, that's kind of her money shot. But Fresno State off to the races. Udy with the layup, and Fresno State leads by 5.
Back here at the Save Mart Center, Fresno State with the 11-6 advantage. As you take a look there at the women's basketball standings, and you see Boise State right there at the top of the conference. Fresno State not too far behind. Big series here for these two teams, especially Boise, as they're going to head on the road to play Colorado State after this 2 games.
Yeah, and you take a look at that. New Mexico at 3-1. Winning percentage-wise, they're actually in second, and Colorado State and Fresno State are tied for third. But this is a big 2-game series that the conference is going to be paying attention to. And I like to start here from the Bulldogs.
Looked like they had Mata cut it to the basket, but instead they'll kick it around to the perimeter. Udy's already knocked down a triple here. Instead gets it to Kinzer with 10 to shoot.
Boise State plays good man-to-man defense. Good pass.
Nice find there from Maddie Udy in the bucket there from Weetala Mata. Second assist for Maddie Udy here this afternoon.
Player of the year. Just remember that when you watch Maddie Udy play. She can do it all. She fills up the stat sheet. You've got 2 players really that fill up the stat sheet for Fresno State. Haley Cavender and Maddie Udy. They do a lot for this team.
Another mid-range jumper, but again, Boise State comes up empty. It's an 11-0 Fresno State run, but the Broncos on the offensive glass, and that's going to send the Broncos to the line, just into the game.
Weetala Mata actually picks up that personal foul. That was one of those plays where it's, again, a second chance opportunity. And then that puts Boise State to the line. It's going to be tough all night just trying to keep them off the glass as you take a look at Elodie Lalott, who's at the line.
So Lalott knocks down the first of her 2 free throws, ends the Boise State scoring drought.
6'3" freshman from Garden Grove, California. Shoots about 40% from the floor. I mean, there's size for days on this Boise State team, no doubt about it. It's a different Broncos team than we're used to seeing the last few years without Lufer and Hodgins and Coleman and Christopher. Christopher was so great at that point guard spot for Boise State.
Ali Gomez looking to get on the action. Instead kicks it over to the far side. That one misses everything, but a nice job there to clean up the miss. Maddie Udy down low gets that one taken away, and they're going to keep it here with the Bulldogs. Only 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Maddie immediately taps her chest, says, "My bad." It's because she took what they call a wasted dribble. When you get the rebound, if you dribble, you want to do something with that dribble, and that's why she said, "My bad." Either hold it and pivot or take a dribble and get out of there.
And now we're going to have a whistle. Looks like it's going to be away from the ball. We'll see who that foul gets called against.
Yeah, they were holding Maddie. It might be on Mark. Actually, it's Muse, excuse me. Muse on guarding Maddie Udy. Mark isn't even in the game.
Nice baseline run there from Gomez. Now the Bulldogs work it around the perimeter. Udy with a head fake. Now pulls up mid-range and gets that one blocked.
It's good recovery by the freshman at 6'2" with that length. Maddie, good use of the head fake. That's what happens, though, when you knock down a 3. All of a sudden, you can put the ball on the floor and get to the basket.
Broncos still looking for their first field goal in nearly 5 minutes.
And Fresno State's had good defense.
Nice job down low. They get it down low to Lalott, but unable to put it up and in.
Now you go if you're Haley. Push it.
Haley finds a trailing Kendall Kinzer for 3. And Kendall Kinzer knocks down the triple.
Bottoms from Kinzer, man. Let me tell you, she is playing well the last 5 games. 50% from 3. She's now 11 of 21 in her last 5 games. Had a couple of games to start the season where it was a little rough, and now she's back to the Kinzer we know and love. She can knock down that 3-point shot.
Good interior passing there from the Broncos as Muse gets the bucket.
It's going to be a good game, Eric. I'm telling you, I love the tempo from Fresno State. Boise State, a tall, long team. It's contrasting styles, but this is just going to be a fun one to watch all night long.
It's been a good start for Fresno State, too. They seem really in control. As a nice pass there, finding a backdoor cutter, and the Bulldogs get the bucket to go.
And that'll be interesting. Brooke Walling with the layup. It'll be interesting to see how Boise defends the screen and roll. That time it was Haley and Brooke in good screen and roll. Brooke got an easy layup.
And Maddie Udy gets the deflection. Bulldogs out and running. Ali Gomez all the way up ahead. Nice move there to get to the bucket and get it to go. Ali Gomez with her first points of the evening.
This Fresno State team starting to click. Good push by La Patrona, the boss.
And the Bulldog lead in double figures at 10.
Good
nice
hands.
job again to strip it away. Maddie Udy having herself a nice first quarter defensively, and Gomez again to the basket, doesn't go. Udy with a second chance. A couple of bodies there. Now Haley. Kinzer, is she feeling it? Yes, she is. Kendall Kinzer knocks down another triple.
And Fresno State doing it by turning Boise State over.
And I'll tell you what, if there were fans here at the Save Mart Center, they would be going absolutely crazy right now. 23-10, Bulldogs on top. We'll keep it here during the break, but Matt, what have you seen from this Fresno State team here so far in the first 9 minutes?
Defense, forcing turnovers. I think that's the number one thing. 7 turnovers they've forced, and then sharing is caring. We said that last game. Haley, a couple of assists to Kendall Kinzer, who is a sharp shooter. That's already 8 assists in the first quarter. Fresno State coming off a game in which they had 18 assists, and that's what you love to see. Turning Boise State over, which leads to runouts. It's different between dead ball turnovers. These are live ball turnovers, and because of that, they have 9 points off of those turnovers. And that's where Fresno State can take advantage. If a team wants to go big, you've got to use your advantage. Your advantage is speed and quickness, and you can beat the bigs down the floor, but you got to turn them over. That's what the Bulldogs have done.
And some contact there. No foul called. Nice job there by Hannah to keep the defensive play alive.
Got Anna Osley in the game now for the first time for Boise State.
And the Broncos answer right back with a 3 of their own.
Sykes will shoot it. She came in shooting 23% from 3, but she will take the 3-point shot. We're talking about Osley, who's in the game for Boise State. Actually played on Hannah and Haley Cavender's AAU team, so they know each other quite well. She's from Scottsdale, Arizona, number 14 on Boise State.
Gomez comes around the screen.
Good
Ali
save.
Gomez fakes it outside, but again, good defense. Bulldogs get it back. Maddie Udy for the triple. That one misses everything. Gomez comes down with the board. 1 second to shoot, and that's going to be a shot clock violation as the ball never touched the rim.
That time, good defense from Boise State. Really having to work. I think if Boise State can get Fresno State in the half court, they can have some success, but if this becomes a track meet, it's definitely in favor of the Bulldogs.
Only 5 seconds to go here in the first. Broncos looking for a shot before the buzzer. Long 3-point attempt, and that one misses everything short. So a really impressive start if you're the Fresno State Bulldogs. They come out shooting well from the field, and they'll have a 10-point lead here coming into the second quarter.
Just look at the ball movement from Fresno State. Bulldogs up by double digits.
Welcome back here to the Save Mart Center. You see, there are some fans, I guess, here at the Save Mart Center. Cardboard cutout edition. Obviously not making as much noise as we're used to hearing here at the Save Mart Center, but a great first quarter there from the Bulldogs, both offensively and defensively, and they've got the 10-point advantage as we get ready to start quarter number 2.
The red wave would be rocking right now because that was a very impressive first quarter. Fresno State shot 48% from the floor, 50% from 3. They were 3 of 6. Boise State 38% from the floor, and they were 1 of 4 from downtown. But the number I really liked, that Fresno State forced 7 turnovers in that first quarter.
Oh, that one halfway down and out. Good look over there on the far side from Haley.
Yeah, you'll live with that if you're Fresno State. That's a good look from the 2-time Mountain West Player of the Week. It's hard to believe it, but Haley Cavender did not get Player of the Week once last season.
Again, nice job there in the paint by the Bulldog defense, getting the takeaway.
Keely Brown in, got her hands on the basketball.
And the Bulldogs waste no time as Haley cuts to the bucket. They're going to say that the shot came after the contact, so it'll be on the floor.
And you know what I like about what Haley did? She noticed Mallory McGuire is trailing. So if Mallory McGuire is trailing at 6'5", that means the lane is open. So you go past your defender, and now you've got no one there, and all that can happen is you get a foul by Bowers.
Took a look at the contact there on the replay. Bulldogs looking to take advantage of that foul as they still have possession. Nice move there from Hannah through some contact, but no shot.
Yeah, it's a tough one. You're going into the land of the trees.
And a nice job there with the right hand. Narrow gets the bucket.
trying to give Maddie a breather to start this second quarter. So you've got Walling in there with Keely Brown, the Cavender twins, and Ali Gomez. You want to keep executing if you're Fresno State.
Keely Brown now gets it over to Hannah. Hannah almost loses it, now does lose it. It's a nice job there with the active hands for Reagan Reed. Tips that one out of play, and that's going to be a Bulldog turnover.
Stagnant on offense last couple of trips. That's going to get Maddie back in. Keely, that's just a little lazy of a pass. Good hands on defense from Boise State. And Reagan Reed, the freshman, forcing the turnover. Fresno State did a good job in that first quarter of not turning the basketball over, just their third turnover so far here in the first half. But again, this game's going to come down to, is it in the half court or is it on the fast break?
And that rebound a little bit long, and you see the size there from the Broncos as they're just able to range and go get it. Their second chance opportunity misses, and a nice job there down low from Witalamata to draw the foul.
Yeah, I think they might have got McGuire, and if they did, that's her second personal. And that's not a good foul. Either one, it was going to be the second on Bowers or McGuire. You don't want to commit a foul that far away from the basket. So you lose 6'5" with those two personals, going to have a seat on the bench. And that's what the assistant coach, Heather Sower, is saying.
And McGuire, who averages nearly 18 points a game for the Broncos, has not found the twine so far here this evening. Through the contact, Udy, no foul, and looks like the officials kind of letting him play there down low.
Yeah, you'll see that. They'll let them be physical with the bigs of Boise State.
And the Broncos answer right back as Bowers gets the bucket to go. And Boise State has come out here to start this second quarter. They're looking impressive.
Yeah, and what they're able to do is set their half-court defense, which makes Fresno State have to work in the half court.
Hannah Cavender with the floater, but that one gets rejected. Another block here from the Broncos.
Boise State funneling the guards with the dribble penetration into the bigs. Fresno State going to have to adjust.
Reed pulls up. Her long two misses.
Good
Another
job.
battle for the board, and Witalamata comes down strong with it.
Good rebound by Mata. Mata's playing well here in this first half. They need Witala.
Allie kicks it over.
Again in the half court, though, so it makes it difficult. Good tape by Hannah.
Hannah kicks it back over to Allie. Allie for three. That one goes Bulldogs from beyond the arc. They're feeling it. They're 4 of 8.
And I like the take from Hannah that drew the second defender to kick it to Allie. That's a mismatch. If Hannah sees Bowers on her, you just go right by her, make Boise State have to make a decision.
Nice interior pass there as Bowers again lays it up and in.
I like this freshman, man, Alexis Mark. That's just a good decision at that high post. She turned like she was going to shoot, and then at the last second, just threw the dime for an easy layup.
Back and forth we go here at the Save Mart Center. Bulldogs by 7. Ali Gomez for another 3. That one just misses.
That's another good look, though, from Allie. Fresno State getting shots they like from the perimeter. Going to the basket. If you beat the bigs down the floor, that's been successful. Otherwise, if the bigs are set, they've been able to have 6 block shots already here in this first half, which you knew was going to happen, just the contrasting styles.
Broncos with 8 to shoot. And that 3 misses there. And now again, back on the floor, they're going to get a defensive foul going against the Broncos. That's going to be their 3rd team foul.
And that's on Sykes. Witala is doing a very good job boxing out here in this first half. That's her 5th rebound. You say, look at that box out. Make Bowers have to go over the top, which Bowers doesn't, so she doesn't pick up the second foul. But then you get that reach in from Sykes.
Witalamata with 4 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals.
Yeah, Coach White's trying to steal some time here. Going to rest Hannah probably for no longer than a minute. You're just going to try to steal some time with Gomez, Udy, and the Cavender twins because this is going to be a physical game where you're going to need them for a lot of minutes.
Hannah with the hesitation, just a bit too strong there on the shot.
Stop the ball if you're Fresno State. Now they're in man-to-man defense, Eric. Fresno State just switched back into a man.
And another feed down low, but that time, again, Maddie Udy active in the passing lane, deflects that one away and gets the Bulldogs a possession.
Well, there is a reason she was on the 2-time defensive team on the Mountain West Conference the last couple of seasons. Some think she could be Defensive Player of the Year, but she's just very active. She's good one-on-one defender, and she does a good job on the glass.
Haley can't get that one to go. Trying to get her own miss, and the Bulldogs come away with it. Kinzer was open in the
good
corner
pass.
for three, but instead they go down low. Mata draws the contact, and Mata will head to the free throw line.
Yeah, verticality. Bowers was not vertical. That's an easy call for the official. So Mata will be at the line for two. Bowers just picked up her second personal. That's big. Bowers with two and Mallory McGuire with two. Coach Fresno for Boise State not happy with that call.
Mata just a bit too strong there on the first. Again, 4 team fouls on the Broncos here with 5:25 to play before the half. Bulldogs have not been whistled for a foul here in this second quarter.
Hannah will check in after this made free throw.
And the free throw is indeed made, so Hannah checks in. Ali Gomez takes a seat.
Yeah, if you're wondering, Eric, I don't believe in jinxes. I know you looked at me like, what are you talking? I don't believe in jinxes.
Yeah, you know, I'll let you do that. I'm going to stay away from the broadcaster's jinx side of things over here on my side of the table.
They can't hear us. If we have that much of an impact, my goodness.
And the floater in the lane goes. That time, Christina Gill.
Well, now you got small ball on small ball. This is about as small as Boise State will go. So now you want to see what you can do if you're Fresno State. If you're the guards, you can dribble in and take it to the basket like Hannah just did.
You called it. The shot doesn't go. Hannah hits the deck. Broncos, again, pushing it up the floor.
Yeah, you can take it, though. You have no rim protector inside.
Mid-range jumper doesn't go. And again, Mata comes down with another board. That one almost turned over there from the Bulldogs.
Trying to get out and go really quickly, which you don't mind if you're Coach White. Look at the crossover, the kick. Pretty basketball. Fresno State with the lead by 6.
27-21, Fresno State leading Boise State. 4 minutes and 43 seconds to go before the half. It's been an action-packed first 15 minutes of this game so far.
Just what I expected and just what I had hoped. Loved seeing Boise State and Fresno State play basketball. It's a lot of fun. But I think if you're Fresno State, you want to get this back to an up-tempo, back to a track meet. When Boise State sets up in that half-court defense, they're tough.
And they're going to get the offensive foul. I believe they're going to get Mata down low for that one.
That's a big one, too. That's 2 fouls on Mata. And she's one of those very active for Fresno State. Has done a good job on the glass already here in this first half with 6 rebounds. And she runs the floor so well. That was just an illegal screen. And one of the rarities here in the first half for Fresno State, that 4th turnover.
So Brooke Walling will check into the game as Mata takes a seat. And immediately in on the action, it's Kendall Kinzer who knocks that one away.
Well, Kendall Kinzer had a good game at Boise State her freshman season a year ago. Knocked down a big 3 late in that one. And she's off to a good start.
Broncos trying to get Lavelle going. She's been held scoreless here so far and will continue to be held scoreless as that one's going to be out of bounds and it'll go the other way.
Yeah, but don't worry. When she sees a ball go in, look out. She had 22 in their last game for Boise State, did Lavelle, against Wyoming, and she came in averaging 17.9, almost 18 points a game, and she has got one of the best mid-range games you'll ever see.
Bulldogs looking for a bucket here, haven't scored in 3 minutes. Haley draws the contact. The shot doesn't go. Haley hits the deck, but she'll get up and head to the free throw line.
Again, what's happened? McGuire's not in the game. Bowers isn't in the game. You have no rim protection. Haley, a smart player, sees that, goes to the basket. All that can happen is a foul and gets yourself to the line for 2.
And so now the Broncos in the bonus for the remaining 4:01 to play here in this second quarter.
It's a good take by Haley.
And Haley gets the first.
Very good free throw shooter, 87% coming in. Actually leads the Mountain West in field goal makes this season.
Perfect 2 for 2 from the line for Haley Cavender. She's now got 4 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds for the Dogs.
Just another ho-hum game for Haley.
Doing a little bit of everything. Bulldogs again looking for a stop, and right there to get it away is Haley. Finds Hannah up ahead. Hannah drives all the way to the basket and won't get the shot, but again, we'll head to the free throw line. You were mentioning it. When this Fresno State team can get out and run, beat those bigs up the floor, even though we don't see them in the game here right now, that's really the key for success.
Live ball turnover. Good hands from Haley. Got the steal and then kicked it to twin sister Hannah. Hannah, good job of going in, drawing the contact. Get yourself to the line.
Haley and Hannah, the 13th highest scoring duo in the country, averaging 38 points per game between the two of them. They've
That's
got
amazing.
6 combined here.
That's amazing numbers. I mean, when you take a look at that, that is crazy. Haley averages 20, Hannah averages 18.
Hannah comes up empty on the second free throw, but right there to get the rebound is Haley. Nice find to Udi down low with the fake. Udi goes up, can't get the bucket.
Yeah, that's a bunny for Maddie, too. She's upset with herself on missing that. That's a good find from Haley on another offensive rebound for Fresno State. So they're doing a good job battling on the glass. Got to continue to work here on the defensive side. They're back into a man-to-man. Tough shot.
And that one misses short, but right there to the Broncos. Their second chance can't go. And now we're going to get a foul on the floor. I believe they're going to get Maddie Udi for that foul.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Maddie at inside position. Coach Jamie White does not like that call. That's a tough one. Boxing out. You be the judge at home. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either.
That's the first on Maddie. Maddie's got to be careful. Don't want to pick up a second.
Broncos will try and take advantage.
Another possession for Boise State. Fresno State now back into his zone defense.
They get it down low. Lalott can't get that one to fall. And a nice job there by Udi to come down with the board. And again, Bulldogs will push it up ahead.
There you go.
Haley all the way to the bucket, gets tripped up. But again, another foul called, and frustration from Gordy Presnell, the Boise State head coach over there.
Beat the bigs down the floor, and you have no rim protection. Haley and Hannah doing exactly what you're supposed to do. Take the ball to the basket. You can't guard Haley one-on-one. Now, the advantage for Abby Muse on the other side is, hey, I'm 6'2". But on this side, you can't guard her one-on-one defensively, so Haley goes right by her and gets herself back to the line.
And obviously nobody on this Bulldog team afraid to get a full head of steam as they go to the basket.
Got to keep working on the defensive end if you're Fresno State. Boise State has McGuire on the bench with 2 and Bowers on the bench with 2. Coach Presnell choosing to leave them on the bench for at least the time being. Still 3 minutes to play here in the second quarter.
Bulldogs by 11.
Full court pressure from Fresno State. A little 2-2-1 action.
Broncos do cross the timeline.
I like Alexis Mark. I think you can be aggressive if you're Alexis, and there she goes.
And that's not a good sign there, as looked like that was Haley Cavender, hits the ground, comes up holding it. That, I believe, looks like her right wrist maybe.
Well, that's Alexis Mark, and that's what she can do. She's averaging double figures as the freshman. Good take.
Hannah, nice move there, pulls up and gets the bucket to go. Hannah Cavender creating her own space in the lane.
Are you seeing points in the paint now? Numbers starting to go up. Nice take by Hannah. Hannah stops on the dime, just a little floater, catches the front of the rim.
Lavelle, again, looking for her first points, not going to come on this possession. Instead, right there for the putback is Mark.
Yeah, Mark's going to put her mark on this game.
Nice move there. Hannah Cavender gets the bucket to go. That's what you like to see.
You love to see it. Keep pushing the tempo, even on a make. Just try to beat them down the floor.
Under 2 to play here in this second quarter.
Fresno State's done a good job on Lavelle so far in this one. Lavelle has not scored an 0 for 9 from the floor. Came in the 3rd leading scorer in the conference. This is the young lady right here. Look at Mark. That's offensive, though.
And it is an offensive foul, and you know it's an offensive foul when you see the bench get fired up. Nice job there by Ali Gomez to get good positioning.
Just beat her to the spot. Anticipated well, and then you had the off arm from Alexis Mark. That's what really gave it away. She uses that left arm right here and sends Ali flying. If you don't use the left arm, you probably aren't going to get that offensive call, honestly. But it's smart by Ali Gomez on defense.
Bulldogs looking to increase their 11-point lead here before the half.
If you're Hannah, just continue to attack.
Hannah looking for Maddie Udi. Udi in the corner with 10. Trying to find Gomez, who was cutting back door, but that one turned over.
Yeah, good hands. Look at Mark again. I'm telling you, look at this.
That was a beautiful play all around there. Mark now in double figures with 10 for the Broncos.
Man, she is smooth. Boise State, get to know her. My goodness. Look at that length, athleticism, stops on the dime, good spin move. Man, she is dangerous.
So now under a minute to go before the half. Haley, another drive to the basket. Now into the corner, Brooke Walling for the triple. That one misses everything.
Yeah, she'll take those threes, doesn't take them often. That's good defense one-on-one, though, by Alexis Mark. If you're Fresno State, you want to close this half well. Lead by 9, get a good defensive stop here and try to score on the offensive end.
About a 9-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock, so the Bulldogs should have an opportunity for the final shot here of this first half.
Good D.
In the lane, the shot doesn't go, but right there to follow it up and getting the bucket is Mark again.
Yeah, Alexis Mark has just changed this entire game. Already 4 rebounds, 10 points, couple of assists.
Haley from way downtown. That one just a bit too strong. She can knock him down from long range. That one just misses. But overall, pretty impressive first half from the Bulldogs.
You have to like what you see as Allie walks off the floor. Fresno State did a lot of this in the first half, running. And the Bulldogs lead by 7. Hannah Cavender got going.
Welcome back here to the Save Mart Center. Halftime between what we thought was going to be a fun game. It has turned out to be a fun game, at least in the first half so far. Fresno State leading Boise State 36-29 at halftime. Eric Bentley, Matt Norville here bringing you all the action. Matt, what did you see in that first half that really stood out to you?
I thought Fresno State did a very good job in that first half of running the floor, but this young lady for Boise State, get to know her. Alexis Mark, the freshman, she was spectacular in that first half. Into the half with 12 points, 4 rebounds, and a couple of assists. She's got that length. This move right here, look, stopping a dive, spin in the middle, a little half hook. Beautiful move from Alexis Mark. I thought what she did for Boise State kept the Broncos into the game with McGuire and Lavelle kind of struggling in that first half. Maddie Udy showed she could knock down the triple, but this is what Fresno State did. They ran the floor, which is what I thought was one of the keys. Try to beat the bigs down the floor and get layups. You see Hannah with layups. You saw Maddie with layups. And then Hannah got going late in that second quarter into the first half with 7 points and a couple of assists. And once the bigs were in foul trouble, you're able to take the ball to the basket. But Fresno State needs to continue to push the tempo and beat Boise State down the floor. And if you do that, you can have some success.
You take a look there at the team stats. Bulldogs getting out-rebounded, as you would probably expect with a team with so much length as Boise State has. Boise State with a narrow margin in field goal shooting percentage. But right there at the bottom of the screen, that's a big category right there. Bulldogs have been able to force 11 Bronco turnovers and turn them into 11 Bulldog points.
Yeah, and on the flip side, 5 turnovers for Fresno State and only 2 points off of turnovers for Boise State. That was what was working their press. Their hands were active on the press, and then when they got into the half court, they trapped out of it, and they were able to force some turnovers, which were live ball turnovers, which led to the runouts, and Fresno State was able to have some success. I know Coach White says, hey, we only scored 13 points in that second quarter. Let's score the basketball more here in the third. They did a good job on defense, holding Boise State to just 16 points in that second quarter.
There you see the numbers for Alexis Mark, 12 points on a perfect 6 of 6 from the field, 4 rebounds. And we were talking about it in the break. Mark really kept the Broncos in that game, especially in the second quarter, while Lavelle and McGuire were on the bench. And you were talking, the deficit for Boise actually got smaller when those two went to the bench, and really that's in large part due to what we saw down low.
Yeah, Lavelle and McGuire combined 0 for 11 from the floor. McGuire with those 2 personals. Bowers in foul trouble with 2 fouls. But you take a look at Alexis Mark, and you get the feeling. I had a coach that used to say, sometimes you just got to tell a player, go get yours. Alexis Mark might be the player that you just say today, you say, hey, go get yours, because she really was unguardable in that first half for Fresno State. Now, on the flip side for the Bulldogs, you like where you're at. You got balanced scoring throughout. And Hannah is leading the way with those 7 points, and she was able to smartly get to the basket. One thing you know about all the guards for Fresno State, the Cavender twins and Gomez, getting their shot blocked isn't going to deter them from going to the basket. But they did a better job when they realized the bigs were out or they're beating them down the floor. That's when they picked take the ball to the basket, get either to the foul line or get a layup.
And you mentioned the scoring really spread out for the Bulldogs. You said Hannah leading the way for Fresno State with 7, but then you've got Haley and Kendall Kinzer with 6 points apiece. You got Maddie Udy, Ali Gomez, and Wita Lamata with 5 points apiece. And you got Brooke Walling with 2. So the offense has really kind of been spread out for Fresno State.
Yeah, they've done a good job of just basically finding the open player. You know, you hear the coaches say that all the time. Hey, just find the open man. Easier said than done. Well, that's what Fresno State did in that first half. It led them to 9 assists. Keep in mind, they're coming off a game that they had 18 assists in their last outing against Nevada. So they did a good job in that first half of sharing the basketball. It's really going to come down to tempo. If Boise State plays 2 bigs on the floor like they did in that first quarter, Fresno State, if they get some defensive rebounds or they force some turnovers, they can beat them down the floor and get layups. If Boise State is able to set up their half-court defense, it makes it a lot tougher for Fresno State to score, which is one of the reasons they shot 37% from the floor in that first half.
And so if you're Fresno State, this is a Bulldog team who's done a very nice job throughout the course of this season making halftime adjustments. They've got the 36-29 lead here. What adjustments would you like to see Fresno State, even though they've got the lead, what adjustments would you like to see them make here to start this third quarter? Because obviously you're not going to be able to keep McGuire and Lavelle out of the scoring column forever.
I would say play a little faster. I thought at times Fresno State chose not to run, and they let Boise State off the hook to set up their half-court defense. So I would say for Fresno State, play a little faster. For Boise State, attack the basket. I thought they settled for too many jump shots in that first half. You've got the size. Just take the ball to the basket and score in the paint.
So it'll be the Broncos who will have the opening possession of this third quarter. And quick stoppage as the game clock did not start on time.
So we'll just do it again. Nothing happened. We'll see if this will let the half start over again, or if they'll wind the clock. They'll let the half start over again. Take a look at official Melissa Barlow.
Obviously, Fresno State and Boise State, conference rivals, quite familiar with each other. And really two big games for both of these teams, as coming up next, Boise State will face Colorado State, and next up on the schedule for Fresno State is a matchup with New Mexico. And again, the ball's put in play, and the clock reads 9:57, but I guess it didn't start on time.
You know, it's talking about the upcoming schedule as they just fix the clock issue. Nothing's happened yet here in this third quarter, so it's really not a big issue. Just more inconvenient more than anything. But you've got the top four teams all playing in action the next couple of weekends, and so a lot's going to affect the Mountain West standings these next couple of weekends. Fresno State with 2, as you mentioned, against Boise State, and then they'll take on New Mexico in Texas next week. And then Boise State will be at home taking on a very good Colorado State team. It'll be a lot of fireworks the next few games, and we'll see what team comes out standing, but there's a lot to play for in this Mountain West Conference, all leading up to the fun tournament in Vegas.
Yeah, we say it a lot that you're always happy when you can get out on the floor and play a game. But obviously, you know, when it's a big game like this, you probably feel a little bit more juiced than you normally would, even with no fans here at the Save Mart Center.
This is a fun rivalry. Make no mistake about it. These two teams are very good and they respect each other, but these two teams don't necessarily always like each other, and it has a lot to do with just if you're a winning program. You're used to playing against another winning program. You're trying to prove that you are the best, and Boise State has been the team on top the last 5 years or so in the Mountain West, and Fresno State is kind of new kids on the block trying to say, hey, we can play, and Mata just picked up her third.
And that's McGuire, who's going to head to the free throw line, as I mentioned, looking for her first points of the evening.
And McGuire came in averaging 12 points and 9 boards. One thing that she has struggled from, and really as a team, Boise State has, is they're not a great foul shooting team. They're 9th in conference, 67% as a team from the foul line.
So McGuire splits a pair. 36-30 Bulldogs as the clock finally fixed, and we're officially underway here in the third.
Now keep in mind, Fresno State did not score the last 2 minutes of the first half, so you want to get an early bucket here.
Gomez in the corner. Looking for some help. Now Udi.
Boise State using their length.
Hannah pulls up in the lane. Gets that one to go. Hannah Cavender.
That's just a good adjustment by Hannah. In that first half, she was dribbling all the way to the basket. Now she stopped a couple of times in the paint and just put it up with the right hand. That's a good adjustment made by a very good scoring guard.
Bulldogs trying to trap.
Good hands.
That one tipped away. Maddie Udi again with those active hands. She's been all in the passing lanes on the defensive end.
Going to see a new player in, Maria Guimaraes, the 6'2 junior from Odessa. Another Brazilian, replacing the Brazilian in Mata. Both played at Odessa College, the JC. So they played there a couple of seasons ago.
Spot up three for McGuire. And that one again misses everything.
And she can knock down the three-point shot. She came in shooting 44% from 3, did McGuire. So that's something you have to be aware of. She's 0 for 2 tonight, but she can knock it down. She's actually statistically the best three-point shooter on the team for Boise State.
Haley comes around the screen from Udi. Now Hannah again around a Udi screen.
Fresno State being very deliberate, trying to take advantage of a mismatch.
Haley drives to the basket and gets that one to go. Haley Cavender.
And that's smart. Got the crossover, saw the hole to the right, and then did a good job with her body when she scooped it up and in, kept Alexis Mark on her back so that she could not use the length to block the shot.
Again, they go down low to McGuire. McGuire's going to back down on Guimaraes. And now, nice job there on the help side defense from Haley Cavender, but Broncos come away with it. Still no points.
Yeah, you got to rebound if you're Fresno State, and there's Lavelle, her first 2 points, and look out. Sometimes as a scorer, you just want to see the first one go in. Take a look at Jade Lavelle. She can flat out ball, folks. Fresno State's, good spin.
Hannah Cavender can't get it to go. Guimaraes right there gets the put back to go. Maria Guimaraes, her first points.
Yeah, that's a good offensive rebound in traffic. Turnaround off the glass. Nice move from Maria. Now Lavelle, lefty. Got to keep an eye on her. Allie knows that.
McGuire, turnaround jumper. No good. Guimaraes with the board.
Now you look to push if you're Fresno State. Got no rim protector.
And Haley does get the foul. Poked from behind there.
Yeah, anytime if you're Haley, Hannah, or Allie and you see Mallory McGuire trailing the play, that means there's no 6'5" inside. You look to push, which is exactly what Haley did. And Mark just reaches out and fouls her.
Haley in the corner. Haley for three.
That's a good find from Hannah. Again, Hannah getting into the paint, not going all the way to the basket, and then kicked it opposite to Haley.
Oh boy, Coach Gordy Fresno was all the way on the court pleading for a timeout. Officials finally take a look over at him as we take another look here at the nice find there.
That's Haley with the scoop. Good, keeping Alexis on her back, and Fresno State leads by double digits.
Welcome back here to the Save Mart Center. You see Haley Cavender jogging back on the floor. She's got 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists for the Bulldogs. And Fresno State with their largest lead of the game at 13.
Yeah, they had 13-point lead in that first quarter. They're doing a good job on the offensive end here in this third quarter, outscoring Boise State 9-3. You want to keep it up on the defensive side, and you got to continue to rebound as Fresno State shifts into that zone. Got to watch high post, and that's where Lavelle is floating. Now she's on that baseline.
Lavelle with it. Step back jumper. No good.
Now look
up. Bulldogs
up.
with numbers. It's a 2-on-0 essentially as Ali Gomez goes up and puts that one home.
Yeah, if you miss the shot and Fresno State gets it, you just look to push. And an easy layup for Ali on the find from Haley. Haley's stat line just very impressive, 11, 5, and 4.
Bulldogs looking impressive here. Broncos trying to answer. Another 3-ball from McGuire. And again, that one comes up short.
Good box out by Haley.
Haley head up, finds Udy. Udy now kicks it out. Now Hannah's going to drive to the basket. Through
and
the contact, count the bucket. The Cavenders are starting to heat up here in this second half.
Second half show. That's what the Cavenders do. Hannah to the basket, matches her sister with 11. But again, noticing that the big is not inside and take it strong with the left hand. Look at that. Mallory McGuire is out, reaches in. Good job by Hannah to absorb the contact and make the layup.
Comes up short on the free throw, though. 49-32 Bulldogs.
9-0 run, the last minute 15 for Fresno State.
And another turnover as that one's deflected out of bounds off of the Broncos. That's now the 11th turnover that Boise State has committed.
Now the key for Fresno State, long way to go. You want to push this to 20. Boise State has some firepower.
Is Haley feeling it? No, that one comes up just a bit short.
Yeah, that's a heat check. Good steal.
Hannah Cavender jumps the passing lane and gets the bucket to go.
Hannah's smiling. Basketball is fun, folks, especially when you play like the Cavenders do. Hannah, that's what she does. She just pokes around and stays around.
And Maddie Udy again getting in the passing lane. These Bulldogs have been so active on the defensive end, really disrupting the flow of this Boise State offense.
Yeah, and again, active hands. I say that all the time. I'm always saying active hands, active hands. You hear coaches say that. They hear coaches say use your length, use your length. Fresno State has done that really from tip tonight. You want to keep it up, though.
Baseline jumper, and again, that one misses everything. Broncos struggling from the field, and just again, the Bulldogs get out and push.
Good trail.
Ali Gomez trailing. Ali for three. That one just a bit short. That one would have lit the Bulldog bench up, but that one's going to be out of bounds off the Broncos.
I love the trail three. The young lady checking in right now, Kendall Kinzer, probably is the best on the team for Fresno State with the trail three. But the trail three gets you in step, in rhythm. You go 1-2, let the ball fly.
Hannah thought about pulling up. Now Guimaraes down low, and the nice move off the glass and in. Bulldogs starting to feel it. They're on a 13-0 run here in this third quarter.
Good, strong post up. Once you see the mismatch, feed the big. And Maria did a good job off the glass and in.
Turnaround jumper. That one off the back iron and in. Ends the 13-0 Bulldog run. But you like to mention spurtability. Bulldogs with a 13-0 run in 2.5 minutes.
Thank you, Clark Kellogg, for that word. Because, yeah, that's how you describe Fresno State. They can just score quickly in bunches.
Into the corner, Kinzer unable to get there before it sails out of bounds.
A little miscommunication. They were running a fade screen. Kinzer was supposed to pop. But you can't complain about what Fresno State is doing. And Hannah, always lurking. Bulldogs by 19.
Welcome back here to the Save Mart Center. You see the score there, 53-34. Bulldogs by 19 over the Boise State Broncos, who came into this game in first place in the Mountain West Conference with an 8-1 overall record, 5-1 in conference play, but it's the Bulldogs who have had the strong showing here this evening.
Yeah, they were showing Hannah Cavender, but they haven't shown her shoes. She might have the best shoe game here tonight, the Cavender twins. Got to find out what they got rocking.
Well, nice job there to rip it away from behind. Hannah Cavender, I beg your pardon. And now Hannah's going to go all the way to the bucket, gets that one stripped.
Give it to, oof.
Haley to the bucket with the left hand. Can't get that one to go. Maria Guimaraes there for the rebound. It's going to be a tie-up, and it'll keep possession with the Bulldogs.
Haley took that ball strong to the basket. He had Kinzer right there asking for the leave. Haley looked at her and said, my fault.
Walling with it. Or Delaney, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, Bree Delaney in for the first time here tonight. Very good pass. You've got three really good passers on the floor. Good Hezzy.
Hannah Cavender. Again, the Cavender's just starting to feel it here in this second half.
Hannah's starting to take over. Buckets is getting buckets. We said that actually in the pregame that Hannah Cavender, I nicknamed her Buckets, but she needs to get some of those tonight, and she has.
Broncos runner doesn't go, but the second opportunity up and in there from Bowers. Bowers now with 10.
They're trying to give Maddie Udy a break for a couple of minutes along with Ali Gomez, Coach White is. So you got Bree Delaney with Kinzer and Guimaraes and the Cavender twins against this man-to-man. Hannah just keeps attacking, man.
Bree Delaney for three. That one goes. Bree Delaney from downtown.
Yeah, Bree can shoot it. She's a three-point shooter, starting to get her stroke back a little bit. And that's good to see if you're Coach White.
You saw the look there real quick after the shot on the bench. The bench was going crazy. We were talking about that in the last time out. This is a Fresno State team who really just looks like they get along well together on and off the floor. And here today on the floor, they're getting to along exceptionally well. And a nice pass there. I think it was intended for Kinzer, but instead Hannah jumps the lane and takes it herself.
Hey, that's a 4-on-1 break. Good find from Hannah to Haley, but anytime you get it, just look to go because they're beating the bigs down the floor. That's the key for Fresno State, and they have been doing that to perfection in this game, especially here in the third quarter.
Spot up three, and that one's good. Osley gets the three-pointer to go. Stops the drought there for the Broncos.
Take a look at Osley. Played with the Cavender twins on their AAU team. Osley is just shooting 26% from three, but you can tell by her stroke that she can knock it down. It's just a matter of getting a few more attempts up.
Hannah with a cross-court pass. Haley drives baseline, draws the contact, and that's going to be a blocking foul.
McGuire just late on the rotation to cut off the baseline, and the Cavenders are just in attack mode. Every time they get the basketball, attack, and attack some more. See, just late on the rotation, the hip check. That's the third foul on McGuire.
I mentioned earlier, Cavender's 13th highest scoring duo in the country, averaging almost 40 points a game. They've got 28 here combined as Kinzer knocks down the triple. Bulldogs firing on all cylinders.
And she has been on fire the last 5 games. She is now 12 of 22 from 3. Kinzer can stroke, man.
63-39, largest lead of the game by far for Fresno State. Broncos try to go down low.
Good D.
And that one, no good. But ahead trying to find Gomez, and Gomez stumbles her way all the way down the Bulldog bench.
Allie gives a little bit of a smirk back to Bree. But I like what they're doing. Every time they get the basketball, even Coach White was applauding her hands. That's not a bad turnover. You're looking to push every time to beat the bigs down the floor.
Broncos trying to get a bucket. That one misses from Muse.
This is impressive what we're watching right now, Eric. I mean, this is impressive.
This is the most well-rounded game that we've seen the Bulldogs play here so far throughout the course of the season as they come up empty there.
Haley looking like she might be getting a break coming up.
Corner three, no good. But unable to corral the rebound there is Walling. And another miss, another offensive board for the Broncos. And finally, the Bulldogs able to come away with it. Haley and Allie up ahead. And now Haley slows things down and finds a trailer. And that's Brooke Walling. That one doesn't go. Good job to come back and get the defense.
Yeah, Hannah's going to come in for Haley. Haley's just going to get a quick breather. Got up after that last one. She's been working hard. Coach White's done a good job of dispersing the minutes with Haley and Hannah and Allie and Maddie. Just trying to buy them time here and there. Love it.
Walling for three, or Delaney, I beg your pardon, and Bree Delaney gets another triple.
And I love that while you're doing the screen and roll, you've got a down screen on the other side for a three-point shooter. Catch and shoot. Bree Delaney 2 for 2 from downtown.
Bulldogs 8 of 17 from beyond the arc here this evening.
I mean, defensively, though, holding Boise State to just 39 points already, that's impressive.
Broncos having some trouble hitting their shots, shooting only 33%. And again, Bulldogs out and running.
And Hannah's just loving this game.
Hannah takes it all the way, can't get it to go. Easily stands right back up there, gets the steal, and now we're going to have a tie-up. No lack of hustle from Hannah Cavender.
Hey, we talk about it all the time when you're playing certain teams. You got to always know where a certain player is because it doesn't matter make or miss, they're always reaching. Well, Hannah Cavender is that player. Hannah never gives up on a play. Misses the shot, says, that's okay, I'll try to steal it anyway. Gets the ball back, but then just three Boise State players tie her up. But defensively, I've just been very impressed with what Fresno State has done here tonight, holding this Broncos team to 39 points. Boise State came in fourth in conference, averaging 74 points a game.
12 to shoot. Gill with the floater. No good.
Offensive rebound.
Another offensive board and a foul as they're going to get Delaney down low.
Boise State is shooting 32% from the floor and 17% from three. That's got to make Coach White under her mask smile a little bit.
And on the offensive end, Bulldogs shooting 48% from the field, 47 from beyond the arc.
Yeah, Keely Brown coming in for Allie Gomez. So Maddie's been able to get a nice little breather, as has Haley.
First free throw there is good.
Well, I think at the end of this quarter, if you're Coach White, you're just going to say, hey, first 3 minutes of the fourth, let's try to just keep the lead is where it's at, and then you can start to try to think about resting certain players.
Bulldogs looking for the last shot here in the third quarter.
Hannah's been constant go this whole quarter.
Spot up three. You betcha. How about that? Bree Delaney, another triple, her third of the quarter, and the Bulldogs are just on fire here at the Save Mart Center.
They are rolling. Another good find, and Bree Delaney.
Some well-deserved hugs over there on the bench when she got there. How about that? Fresno State leading Boise State 69-41. Fourth quarter action coming up on the other side. Welcome back to the Save Mart Center, where the Bulldogs put 33 points on the board in the third quarter, and they've got a 69-41 lead. And how about the shooting from Bree Delaney? 3 for 3 from beyond the arc, and it's a reason to celebrate on the Fresno State bench.
Yeah, she is a three-point shooter. Everyone knows Bree Delaney for the outstanding pass she made in the game against San Jose State because she's one of the better passers on the team. But that's what she can also do, and that's knock down the three. She's also a very good defender moving laterally. And again, the clock to start the quarter doesn't start.
Bulldogs outscored the Broncos 33-12 in that third quarter. So not only did they have it going offensively, they were right there on the defensive end as well.
And they've been on the defensive end all game. 16 points is the most they've given up in one quarter this game. That was in the second quarter. They gave up 13 in the first quarter and 12 in the third. And this has been very impressive on the defensive side, and they're battling on the glass, too. Even though Boise State's out-rebounding Fresno State 34-31, the fact that it's even within three tells you how hard they're working on the glass. Because this is a big Boise State team.
Bulldogs shooting 50% from the field, 50% from three.
I was going to say, if Bree lets that one fly, she thought about it. Good kick.
Haley loses the handle momentarily. 5 seconds to shoot. Haley finds Uitala Mata. Mata, who had to take a seat with a couple of fouls, back in the game and can't get the second chance. Keely Brown unable to get it to go.
Keely Brown just checked in. They really like her, the freshman.
And that time, Uitala Mata hit the floor. Broncos still unable to get points.
Man, flares are just falling all over the place. You got a couple of players got tripped up. Haley slow to get up.
When you play the game with as much passion as Haley and Hannah do, you're probably going to see them on the floor, whether it be diving for a loose ball, taking contact. They've been all over the place.
And that's what I like about this team. This team plays hard, Eric. A good box out. You see, that's a good job of Uitala Mata, not fouling and then turning and getting good position and boxing out to get another rebound. Take advantage.
And again, another block down low. And again, Haley Cavender hits the deck.
Yeah, but that's okay. You see, if you're Fresno State, again, pushing the pace, that's good block from Abby Muse, the freshman, using her length. But you can just continue to attack. As long as you don't get frustrated by getting your shot block, which no one on this team does.
I didn't even need to say anything for that one. Bree Delaney doing it all on her own for me.
You know what Bree Delaney's saying? Coach, give me just a little bit more PT. I can shoot too. And that's a good sign for Fresno State because Bree's starting to get healthy and starting to work her way back, and that's what you want to see.
Now, before the game, if I told you that Fresno State was going to have a 31-point lead with 8.5 minutes to go, what would you have said?
And if you told me Maddie Udy has 5 points, look at this.
This is just a clinic the Bulldogs are putting on. Hannah Cavender all the way to the bucket, and the Bulldogs continue to pour it on.
Well, Hannah's just stamped this game. Hannah's taken this game over. She is the player of the game. 17 points, 7 assists, but it's what she's doing on the defensive end that's been more impressive.
And a nice job there by the Broncos as they're finally able to get a bucket. You know, obviously, you don't want to talk too much about what happened in last year's Mountain West Championship game, but this is a Fresno State team that returned so many players. You got to think that that's out there in their mind just a little bit.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal game. It ended a little bit of controversy at the end. Fresno faithful not sure what happened with the timeout. Was there one? Wasn't there one? Who called it? No one knows.
What a dish there from Hannah. Finds Uitala Mata.
But what gets lost is that you said Fresno State brought pretty much everybody back, and they were preseason picked to win conference, and Boise State has been the team that every year, the last few years, has been that team at the top. And Fresno State is that kind of new kid on the block saying, hey, it wasn't a fluke a season ago.
Mart gets the bucket for the Broncos. Her first 2 points in this second half. She had 12 at the break. And a little bit of miscommunication there as the Bulldogs are trying to find Keely Brown.
Well, Fresno State, this is exactly what you want if you're Coach White, because you know what you can do? You can rest Maddie, Hannah, Allie. You're up 31 with 7:18 to play in the fourth. You can play a couple of players. You're going to get Todorova in for the first time. And I know we didn't talk about the last possession that Alexis Marks scored, but she's been quiet here in the second half. She had 12 points at the half, and that was her first 2 points in the second half, and I'm not even sure she took a shot. And I think that's one of those I would look at. This was the way this game was going. That's a good turnaround. The way this game was going, Eric, though, if you're a Boise State fan, I said it at the half getting ready to go into the third quarter. She's one of those players I might have looked at her and said, hey, go get yours. Because she was really the only player in a rhythm for Boise State here tonight. Fresno State basically shut out Lavelle and shut out McGuire, but Mark was really having a field day.
Mata drives to the basket. Uitala Mata off the glass and in. Uitala Mata with 9 points, 8 rebounds.
Yeah, she got inserted into the starting line. Look at Keely.
Keely Brown, the freshman, with the steal. Keely Brown draws the contact, and boy, Fresno State really just playing well on all sides of the ball.
You know, Keely Brown with those hands gets the steal, takes it strong to the basket, goes to the line. The freshman, the all-time steals leader at her high school in Georgia. So she can play some defense, and she's the all-time scoring leader.
So Brown at the free throw line for the first time, looking for her first points, comes up empty.
Just so interesting how they even got Keely Brown. Her head coach is an ex-Fresno State women's basketball player. Happens to say, you know what? hey, I've got a young lady that I think you should take a look at. And that's one of those great phone calls or one of those great emails where you get one of those and you're like, you know what? We found ourselves a good freshman.
And it's especially nice when you get former players as an ambassador for the program to get high school players to want to come here to Fresno State and play.
Yeah, her high school coach was LaToya Brown, who played on the 08 and 09 team for Fresno State. Keeley was a four-time Class 4A All-Stater. Had 361 steals in high school. Take a look at Coach Fresno. He's done so much good at Boise State. This is one of those frustrating nights. But Eric, if you remember, they had a frustrating night against Air Force and then turned it around actually not the next day, but the day after.
Ball down low. Again, good interior defense from this Fresno State team.
Look at Haley with her head up.
Mata was calling for it. Just a bit too strong there on the layup.
And Mata again running the floor. She's been able to beat the bigs down the floor all night long. Might not see Maddie or Allie the rest of the night. At least that's what Coach White is hoping for.
Bulldogs in control here. And now we're going to have a foul against the Bulldogs.
I mean, the tempo, you hear coaches talk about tempo. But it's 78 points scored for Fresno State. That is not the pace you want if you're Boise State. You just did not want to come in here and have Fresno State with 5.5 minutes left in the fourth already at 78 points. Because the way your style is, it's a different team than it was a season ago. Yeah, you can still score, but you don't play at that kind of pace. Last year's team, yes. This year's team is more, with the bigs, more traditional. We want to feed it inside, get our points that way.
Nice find up ahead. Haley Cavender all the way to the glass, but Bree Delaney on the defensive end with the block to set it up.
And another good find from Bree Delaney. You've got the Cavender twins and Bree Delaney. They just see the floor so well. Look out.
Haley almost comes away with that one. Corner three. And again, that one misses. And the Bulldogs again, this time they'll slow it down a little bit as we approach 5 minutes to play.
This will send some shockwaves around the conference. No doubt about it. Now, the tough part for Coach White is going to have to say, hey, be ready for an entirely different game on Saturday. There's no way Lavelle and McGuire are going to have that kind of game on Saturday.
Haley can't get that one to go. Guimaraes with an attempt for the rebound, but Broncos come away.
Because Lavelle has 2 points, McGuire has 1. They've combined for 3 points, the top two scorers for Boise State in this game, and Lavelle was third in the conference coming in, averaging almost 18 points a game.
Nice move there in the lane to draw the contact there. First time into the game that we've seen Martina Makalova.
But again, defensively, Fresno State, they've only allowed 47 points, and they've held Boise State to 31% from the floor. It's time to have some fun if you're Bulldogs. They lead big here in the fourth.
Bulldogs in total control here at the Save Mart Center, 80-47. Fresno State with the lead over Boise State. And you look at buckets, Hannah Cavender, 8 of 16 from the field, 17 points, 8 assists. Boy, she really turned it on in the second half like we're used to seeing.
A stat that I know coaches keep that they don't keep official is deflections. And I would love to know how many deflections Hannah had tonight, because statistically she has just 2 steals, but she's had her hands on a lot more balls than that. And she has wreaked havoc, especially here in the second half. She's kind of been a one-woman press.
A couple of Bulldogs into the game for the first time. Jenna Ogier. She's got it. Now finds Bree Delaney.
And this is exactly what you love to see if you're Coach White. You can rest Maddie and Allie the rest of the way. They can kick their feet up. It's going to be a game that Maddie's only going to play 24 minutes, and Hannah just says, hey, let's get to 20.
Hannah with another bucket. Now she's got 19.
Well, Hannah's been able to take the ball to the basket. I really like her demeanor in this game. Again, efficiency. I think that's been the difference in the transition from her freshman to her sophomore year. She's been way more efficient from the floor compared to a season ago. And she used her intelligence tonight. As soon as the big was gone or not in the lane, Hannah was able to get the ball to the basket.
Nice find down low, and getting the bucket there is Lalott.
Now, there was a lineup for Boise State that was successful in that second quarter. Ironically, when they went smaller, they did have some success in that second quarter, but anytime they went with 2 bigs, Fresno State just torched them here tonight.
Delaney through contact, no foul called, and now we're going to get a tie-up. It'll keep the ball here with the Bulldogs. A couple of more substitutions for Fresno State.
Hannah's day is done. I see Delaney take the ball to the basket and then a tie-up and a rip away by the freshman Sykes. So Hannah's night is over. She's going to finish the game. 19 points, 8 assists, a couple of steals, and a rebound. Haley finishes the game with 15 points, 9 boards, and 5 assists. So the Cavender twins, again, doing it. And you talked about just how good of a duo they are scoring the basketball. And they have been very important. And Maddie Udy has just got her feet kicked up, just saying, hey, I'm just going to relax on the bench. Hey, you guys don't need me tonight. That's okay.
I don't know how much relaxing Maddie Udy's doing on the bench. I've seen her jumping up and down anytime that Fresno State hits a big shot. She's enjoying herself down there as Jenna Ogier knocks down the baseline jumper.
Execution, man. I'm telling you what, Fresno State has just executed 84 points here in this fourth quarter. The clock continues to run, and normally you'd see the opposing coaching staff telling the officials, hey, stop the clock. No such thing tonight when a team is up by 34.
Just an all-around impressive effort here from the Bulldogs. But again, as we mentioned, got to get ready to play this same Boise State team here on Saturday.
If there's one thing we've learned in these 2 and 3 days, it'll be an entirely different game on Saturday. No way McGuire and Lavelle combine for 3 points. Mark my words, they are going to come out ultra aggressive.
So you see that one out of bounds.
Delaney going to take a seat, as is Walling. Well deserved for Bree Delaney. And you get AJ into the game. And Charisse Fairley, who we haven't seen since Wyoming. She played in the Wyoming series in that first game for Fresno State. She's a sharp shooter. I know we say Kinzer is. Fairley's got maybe the prettiest looking stroke out of anyone.
Broncos able to get the contact, and they'll head to the free throw line with 2:33 to play, trailing by 34.
Yeah, some new players on the floor for Fresno State. Daly Dunn wearing number 5 for the Bulldogs. See her in the back right corner of your screen. She's actually a basketball and a track athlete at Fresno State. You don't see that much at the Division I level. That tells you what kind of athlete she is. She's just a freshman.
Sykes second, misses long. And that one's going to be out of play. We'll see who touched it last, and they're going to say that it went off of Fairley and the Bulldogs.
Fairley wearing number 23. If you get to see her shoot a basketball, I would just love to have her at a shooting camp and show all young kids how to shoot a basketball. Her form is picture perfect. Doesn't get a lot of time. She's the junior, transferred in, JC kid.
Nice job there to take it right away. Todorova comes away with it.
Todorova, another JC transfer. She played at Odessa College with Guimaraes and Mata a couple of seasons ago. Here's AJ. AJ's got game, man.
Nice find there, and the Bulldog bench goes absolutely insane. AJ with the find, and Ogier puts it up and in.
AJ's got game. She's working her way back. She had the torn ACL, missed all of last season. She is a redshirt freshman who is a local kid, played at Memorial, but they love her game, and you could see that little one-on-one. As Mark Jackson says, may I have this dance, and then dishes and finds Ogier for a layup.
Triple goes there from Reed as the Bulldogs bring it back up the floor. And if you wanted to know if the starters were going to kick it back and take it easy on the bench, everybody's standing up there on the bench as Broncos come away with the steal. And that one goes from Makalova.
The defense for Fresno State, though, has been the story in this one the whole way, holding a Boise State team, Boise State to 55 points with a minute left. Look at AJ. Look at that.
What a nice move there. AJ goes up and under and gets the bucket to go. Bulldogs are having some fun.
Hey, I'm telling you what, AJ, when she starts to get healthy, look out. She will be in the rotation. She can make some defenders look a little foolish. She's got some serious G.
And the bucket goes on the baseline. Under a minute to play, 48 seconds to be exact. Bulldogs looking to possibly eclipse the 90-point mark.
AJ's just feeling it right now. This is just like playing at the park.
Dunn with it over there. Dunn pulls up. Dunn's jumper high up off the rim. Doesn't fall, but it's going to be out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Fresno State.
I think what you're seeing that we have not seen from Fresno State teams in the past is the depth. They have a lot of depth. The fact that AJ isn't seeing the floor, there's Fairley.
Bulldogs still not giving up there. You know, when you get your time to play in the game, doesn't matter what the score is, you're out there still trying to make an impact, and that's what everyone on the floor out there for the Bulldogs has been doing.
Well, this is one of those games, if you're a Boise State fan, you just say, hey, we're not even going to watch the film. We'll make a couple of adjustments and come out Saturday. Saturday is a new day, and it'll be an entirely different game.
Done with the elbow jumper, and the Bulldogs continue to pour it on.
Yeah, they're making a statement here today. This is wild. 90-57. No one would have predicted that, and they're going to continue to push.
Todorova gets that one stripped away, and so the Bulldogs will inbound with the remaining 5.9 seconds left, all but a formality here, as it's been all Bulldogs all evening long.
Yeah, and there's only one player that hasn't scored in this game, or a couple of players. Healy hasn't.
Jenna Ogier banks the bucket home. And you can see they're having some fun out there.
Yeah, well, when you're not playing, you want to score. It's tough to say, hey, I'm not playing, and then to hold the basketball. But Fresno State has sent a message, and Saturday, get ready, because Boise State, they are going to be fired up. But this was impressive.
I don't think that anybody on the Fresno State bench is surprised by what they did. They know what this team is capable of, but boy, was that an impressive showing. A final score 92-57. Fresno State beats Boise State. We'll take a break, and then we will come back to wrap things up here from the Save Mart Center. Welcome back here to the Save Mart Center. An impressive victory by Fresno State as they get the win 92-57 over Boise State. And it was a game that really Fresno State started out dominant and really just never took their foot off the gas. In fact, they probably got stronger as the game went on.
Yeah, defensively from the opening tip, I thought they were aggressive. They obviously had active hands, which we always talk about when whether you're pressing, playing defense in the zone or in the half court. And the highlights are going to show it. Fresno State was off to the races, and they're off to the races early. But as he take a look, this was a young lady that I just thought didn't get enough touches in the second half for Boise State. They trailed by just 7 at the half, and it was because of what Alexis Mark did in that first half. She had 12 points, but only got 2 points in that second half. Bree Delaney got going in that second half, knocking down triples, 4 for 4 from 3. Good to see Bree knock down some threes as she's working her way back with 12 points. And she's such a good passer, too, so you like to have her on the floor. And if she's knocking that down, that adds another dimension to this Bulldogs team. But I thought the story of all stories, Hannah Cavender took the ball strong to the basket. Look at what she's doing on defense, always lurking wherever the basketball is. She finds it. Good hezzy. She knew when to take the ball to the basket and when not to, and it just seemed like a layup drill for Hannah Cavender tonight. Finished the game with 19 points, had 8 assists and a rebound. I thought she was the star of all stars. And that 19 points leading the way for all scorers here in this game. And you take a look, I mean, the final score, just a really lopsided one. You take a look, field goal percentage. Bulldogs shot 51% from the field, and you look at those turnovers. They forced 17 Broncos turnovers. They did a good job with their press and also even in the half court of making Boise State uncomfortable. That 35% from the floor, that's the number I look at, and I say you're contesting everything and you're making Boise State have to take tough shots. And defensively, that's where this game was won. Outscored Boise State 58-28 in the second half. So I thought that was very impressive. As we take a look at the standings in the Mountain West, you see Colorado State at 5-2, Boise State at 5-2, and Fresno State all tied at that second spot. The reason New Mexico is in first is because it's based on win percentage this year. That's because, obviously, with COVID and all the protocols, they're going to go down to win percentage, not necessarily games. But all 4 of these teams in the top, they play each other. Fresno State will then be traveling to take on New Mexico next week. And then, of course, Boise State will be hosting Colorado State.
So, like you said, a couple of really big Mountain West Conference matchups here with big implications coming up here. Fresno State, obviously, they're coming off of a sweep of Nevada. They'll look for a sweep here, but you get the win here today. You guarantee yourself a split, and that's what you've got to do here in this new format.
Especially against the top 4 teams. And Fresno State was impressive. They were dancing. Hope to continue that on Saturday, but nobody saw this coming as the Bulldogs now, we can say, are on a winning streak as they pick up their 7th win of the season.
Fresno State had 12 players find the bottom of the net and find the scorers column. Fresno State now on a 3-game win streak. And again, like I said, we'll be right back here at the Save Mart Center on Saturday, 2 p.m., as the Bulldogs will take on this very same Boise State team. But once again, the final for today, a dominant win for this Fresno State team, victorious over Boise State by a final score of 92-57. It's been Eric Bentley and Matt Norville on the call, and we'll see you on Saturday.